Hey, so I want to start off by saying I received a call today from someone that usually calls me for information when dealing with a license. This time, this call is in regards to using someone else's license, right? That means that I don't have a license, but I have work coming up. I have a contract and I need a license, and I have someone that's willing to allow me to use their license. What are the pros and cons? What do I need to watch out for? What do I need to look out for? Is this right? Should I do it? I'm going to answer that. I'm going to answer those questions right now. All right. So get a little bit more comfortable because this is a hot topic here. This is something that a lot of contractors out there that just don't know. And I'm going to talk about it on both sides. It's going to be a lot of information. So listen up. So let's say you have a job and you have someone that you can actually piggyback onto their license, right? So first off, it's a job that needs to happen tomorrow, right? So let's talk about that scenario. Job that needs to happen tomorrow. That means you cannot use your company name. You have to use that license company name because you're not giving it enough time to set up a license under your name, okay? Which we'll talk about that other scenario. So you have to literally use that company name, okay? Now, you need to make sure that company is properly licensed to do that work. That's another thing, right? Now, the company that's hiring you to do the work, they're not going to care whether well, a lot of them don't care whether you're qualified to do the work, like your classification allows you to do the work. They just want to know if you're licensed, bonded, and insured. You can do the work, right? Well, on your end, to protect yourself, you want to make sure, because if something goes wrong, then that's when it's an issue. So since it's immediate, you have to use their company name. So whatever their company name is, T.A. Jones Engineering, and you need to do some landscape work. Well, that's the company name that's going to go on the contract, okay? So all the insurance is under their name. All the bonding is under their name. The license is under their name. So you need to work out something with that individual, whether you're going to be a partner, list yourself as an employee, receive a wage, or split some profits there, maybe as a person as a 1099 and get paid on as working as an employee. And I'm not sure how you're going to split that or what you're going to do in there to stay legally as far as taxes and everything. But once you fill out the application, once you draw up the proposal, you send it over. Remember, it's going to be in that company's name, and that's it. Everything else that you work out with that individual, that licensee, and everything. You actually, in the end, that licensee doesn't have to pay you a dime if you're not actually an employee on there, if you don't actually have some type of partnership agreement made out with him for that particular job. They don't owe you anything. So you might want to think about creating something that protects you when dealing with contracts like that, okay? All right, so let's talk about a scenario where you have a company. You don't want to go through the problems with getting your license, signing up to a school, passing the test, paying the bonding, and all this stuff. You want to fast track and piggyback on someone's license, right? So I actually did that before, got into some trouble as well. One of the reasons I got in trouble is because I had a partnership with an individual, and we were doing some contract work. We was doing a lot of work with the HERO program. And with the HERO program, you're dealing with a lot of homeowners. Anytime you're dealing with homeowners, and this is one of the reasons why I jumped to the commercial side. Because anytime you're dealing with homeowners, you're dealing with preference, okay? Anytime you're dealing with homeowners, you're dealing with preference, right? It's not so much what's legal or it's not so much what's code, it's about their preference, what they like, right? You can paint the wall, you can paint a section of wall so they can see how the paint looks and leave it there for 5 days. Come back on the 7th day, paint the entire wall, and on the 9th day, they say, you know what, this color looks different, I don't like it. preference. Okay. So we was dealing with a lot of, we was doing 300,000 a month. So we was dealing with a lot of customers doing solar as well as remodeling. And we fell under everything because I was the license holder. I had I actually have an A, general engineering, a B, general building, and a C8. So I can do all the work that we were doing. It really worked out. Well, when we got complaints, I did not have my number, my actual cell phone number on the under the license name on the CSLB website. So when a complaint happened, they called the company, right? So it got to the receptionist, the secretary picked up the call, right? Now, mind you, my partner was running a lot of the operation side. I'll just come in anytime there was a big job. I'll estimate it. I'll go visit a few job sites. And I was literally, collecting a check while helping build this company up. But he was really the main one turning the screws and making, tighten the bolts, making everything work. And that's how I was able to grow this wealth that I had, right? So as they call, he never told me about the complaints. How I found out about the complaints is that the problem escalated within the board. Now, I should have originally had my number under the company name on the CSLB website. Now, a lot of us feel like, hey, why have your number there when it's a company? Well, no one is really calling. Well, back then, no one was really calling. No one was really searching the CSLB for the company and then calling the company from the CSLB website. No one was doing that. Now the board finally came up with a search option where you can actually search for contractors in your area. But back then, that was not an option. So having your name there, having your number there was really only as extra protection as a RMO or as an RME. Okay, that's extra protection for me because when a complaint happens because you're piggybacking it onto my license or you're a partner of mine, however the structure is, whether it's a partner, whether they're piggybacking, whether they're just using your license, however you want to see it. When a complaint happens, you need them to call the license holder. You want to have your number there, your cell phone number, the RMO cell phone number, the RME cell phone number, whoever you are, because you want to be able to deal with that complaint, take care of it, because your license is everything. Okay. So now let's say, hey, you know what? I'm going to use this person's number. What you do is you set up, remember, I did a video on this. With a license, you can open up 4 different corporations or 4 different businesses. The first one can be a sole prop, but the other 3 have to be a corporation, whether it's a S Corp, C Corp, or LLC. Okay. And I do videos on the Construction.Entrepreneurs School and Services University, talk about the different types of business structures, S Corp, C Corp, and LLC in partnership. Talk about those different things. Well, each of those other 3 businesses, which gets different license numbers, right? They're as if they run on their own. They have their separate license number. There's nothing. If you go to CSLB and you look up one of the license number that's tied to this one, is only tied into it on the back end. The CSLB knows that those 3 other license numbers tied to this one license number. If I just go to that CSLB webpage where it shows that contractor's information, the only thing you have there is maybe the RMO's name. It doesn't say anything like, hey, this number is a part of this license, reference 7888934. It doesn't say anything like that. Okay, so they're all separate entities. Okay, the only affiliation they have with that one license number is the RMO, the RME. So that person's name is actually on each license as the qualifier. Okay, so you open up you ask that person to open up another license, right? One, you don't want to operate on this one because he already has a company name on that one. You want to operate a second one. And the reason why you want to operate on the second one is because if you ever decide to disassociate yourself, is what they mean is break apart away from that RME or RMO because of whatever reasons, right? They get into trouble, they have issues, you guys don't get along anymore. You as a company get to keep that license number. Yes, you get to keep that license number. Now, the only thing you have to do is, as an owner, is either take the test to fill that RMO spot, or hire another person as an RMO that has a license and bring them on as an RMO to keep that license active. Okay, so that's clear, right? So we talked about first, having a job and the immediate start date is tomorrow, and you piggybacking off of this one guy's license, right? You're using his name, use his license number, his insurance information, everything, right? And then you work out a partnership, you work out an agreement with him to do that particular project. Next one, you have them open up a license. You have them open up a separate license number for your business. You have to incorporate that business, right? Now, he's on that business. Now, if you was ever to decide to disassociate, that's what the board calls when you split apart, disassociate yourself from that person, then that license number stays with that company, which is your company. You just have a period of time after disassociation, 90 days to fill that spot. If you don't fill that spot in 90 days, you lose that license. That license gets suspended, revoked, whatever it is that they're going to have you go through, okay? So you open it up, you get it, get going, okay? Now, what you want to do here is you want to make sure that once you get this next license open, right, this secondary license open, that your information is there. Whoever needs to get those complaints, because if you're doing residential, they're bound to happen. You want to make sure that gets funneled to you, okay? Next, you're going to have to pull all the insurance in your name. So you're going to have to actually fork over money to get your workers' comp. You're going to have to, and if you are the RMO, you want to make sure that whoever files for that additional license number, you want to make sure that they get their workers' comp, because they plan on having workers' comp. And you are responsible for everything that company does. If your name is on it, and that's one of the things I didn't realize when I did this years ago, I don't care what, the board considers you responsible for every move this company makes. I don't care if you know about it or not. I don't care if they're lying to you, dishonest with you. You are the sole responsible manager. That's what the RMO is. That's what the RMO is, responsible managing officer. Okay? You are responsible. You will be held liable. So you need to make sure if they open up another license number under your license, then you need to make sure that next license number, as long as you're RMO on it, they pull workers' comp. They pull general liability. They pull auto insurance. They pull, especially if they're doing any type of work outside of handyman work, okay, which you have a license for. You make sure they get the bonding, okay? You make sure they get all these things. And another thing is you got to make sure they understand how to run a business. You don't just, allow someone to, and that's what I did for my business. When I created a partnership, I ran the estimating part, right? I ran the numbers, getting all the insurance. I dealt with all that, okay? So you got to make sure that person really understands that. You don't want to just be doing it because you need the money and that person's going to pay you. So I'm going to throw out the secret as well. So the average cost for you to pay for you to piggyback on someone's license, right? That means that if you was to, I'm not talking about the first option where you have an immediate need and you're going to be starting a job soon, and you work out a deal on the back end on their actual license name and number. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about opening up that additional license, okay? You usually pay someone, if it's like one classification, and you're not going to be doing a whole lot of work, you can pay anywhere from $600 to $1,200 up to $2,400. Okay, now if you have like me, I have an A, a B, and a C8 license. So I got 3 classifications. We could do any type of work. I'm going to charge you high. So what I did is I asked for a percentage of each project, okay? It was one partnership I had where I got paid monthly, but I got paid monthly based on the income that came in, okay? The profits. So with this one here, with this one particular one, I got paid. We did a lot of work with the HERO program. So we had solar work coming in. Anytime there was solar work, I got paid 7%. Okay? No, it was 5%. I got paid 5% for solar jobs and 3% of any other job. okay, off the top, not even on profits. I got 3% off the top, okay? And there was just so much volume coming in. And I did all the estimating. Everything ran through me. It was awesome. The only thing I did, I should have had that number there on that on the license thing. So that's a little bit about, I know it's a lot to absorb, but that's about actually setting up piggybacking off of someone else's license. A lot of people frown against it. You know, I frown against it. As long as you have things in place, you can do it. That's why it's there, you know. But you want to be careful as an RMO, and you want to be careful as someone piggybacking onto that license, okay? You really do. So if you have any questions, you have any concerns, you want to know more about this, you know, give us a call. My number you can reach us at is 1-844-917-8223. Once again, that's 1-844-917-8223. And for more great information like this, laid out a little bit laid out in a different platform, you can always sign up for the upcoming university, the Construction.Entrepreneurs School and Services University. This thing is huge. We're doing interviews, we're doing seminars, we're laying out content for you so you don't have to search, Google this information. It'll be provided there for you for less than $1 a day. And it's just going to be awesome. You want to learn how to estimate. We're going to teach you details on how to estimate. You want to learn about workers' comp. You want to learn about how to create your overhead percentage. We're going to teach you that. You want to learn about how to take your first step into getting into public works. We're going to teach you that. You want to learn about how to file a workers' comp claim. We're going to teach you that. You want to learn about how to file for additional classification. We're going to teach you that. You want to learn about what's the correct overhead profit percentage to charge. We're going to teach you that. We're also going to give you an estimating system, a system that I've been building for over 9 years, where I have bidden on HCSS, Xactimate, on-center estimating. I mean, I've used different platforms to where I created this Excel program that allows you to bid on a number of ranges of projects, and you're going to get that for joining the university. You're also going to get an employee handbook. You're also going to have access to an employee handbook. You want to download it and edit it to your company's name. You're going to get a spreadsheet that's going to help you constantly adjust your overhead as a small business owner that's always fluctuating. Man, the content, it just goes on and on. I'm not going to continue on with this video. Hopefully you got some value out of this. Hit us up in the comments. See you soon. We'll be sending more. Oh, and you need to go ahead and hit the like button. Go ahead. I'll wait. Hit the like button right over there. Where is it at? Yeah, hit the like button right there. Okay. All right. Make sure you subscribe too as well. Got more great content coming to you. Check you on the next one. Thank you so much.